I thought I was going to be a Hobonichi girl for life. This is the newest addition to my planner lineup, and that was all the convincing I needed. Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome or welcome back to Tarot Magpie. I hope you're doing all kinds of good today. This is my first video of the new year, my first video of 2025, and very appropriately, I am going to be sharing all of my planners and journals with you today. This video was selected by my Magpie members over on Patreon. There will be a link in the description if you want to check out what we're doing over there. So thank you to my patrons for choosing this video. I love an excuse to talk about planners, stationery, all that good stuff. And I am going to get straight into it. I never would have believed I'd be here. I thought I was going to be a Hobonichi girl for life, but here I am with Happy Planners and Travelers notebooks. So I am going to start with these two, which are my work and personal planner, and then I will get to these two later. This is a big size, barely fits in frame, and I've got the undated dashboard inserts for anyone who is interested. This is much the same as the last time you saw it. I posted a video in I think November with my current planner setup because I had changed things up. This is functionally very much the same. There are some secret things that I can't show you. There are some less secret things that I can show you. Collecting some of my favorite words in these pages. And let us look at January. So this is how I set up my monthlies. This is my Tarot Magpie planner. So I have YouTube videos, Patreon stuff, anything Etsy related goes in here. I do sort of minimal decorating in my work planner. I decorate the empty space in the monthlies, but then my weekly pages are just to-do lists. The rain is currently bucketing down on my roof, so apologies if the noise is a little bit distracting, but my weekly plan is just a big old to-do list, stuff that needs to go live this week, next week, and then I work out my daily to-dos. I kind of vary in how much I use this page depending on if I feel like I need to break stuff down in any given week, but this is kind of invaluable. I do a big overview of the week of everything that's on my brain, everything that I want to get done, everything I need to get done, any other ideas that are kind of percolating. And I also use this space to fill in if there's anywhere I need to be at a certain time and or place, just so any kind of non-negotiables in my week are in here. And this is the only duplication that I do across my two planners. Everything work related is in here. Everything else is in my personal planner. So that is the Tarot Magpie Happy Planner. Then moving right into my personal planner, this is a camel colored Travelers notebook. And what I'm using in here is the Travelers Company brand dated monthly insert, which just looks like this, and the weekly insert, which is this one. I have, of course, decorated the covers because who would I be if I wasn't doing some collage? This one I love because the glare is doing quite a lot, but there is glitter in here. I love it. And then that is the back of that one. Lots of washi tape, my kind of, I don't want to say signature because I don't know if anybody else pays as much attention, but my signature hot pink duct tape. But this is also pretty straightforward. The monthlies are really boring. I will show you December because that is all been and gone. So any times and places you can't stalk me. My monthlies are pretty boring. It's just, where am I? Where's my partner? Who's visiting? You know, it's a schedule. It's nothing revolutionary going on in here. And then for my weeklies are currently looking pretty uninspiring. I have not yet done any decorating in terms of stickers and things because of course it's been Christmas, we've been busy, we've been away. I've not spent a lot of time sitting in my journal and sticking photos in, but if I grab my previous one, I can show you what my weeks usually look like. So this was my my weekly while I was waiting for the dated ones to come in. I did this by hand. It's a squared notebook and then I filled in the dates by hand, but this is usually what we're looking like. I have my to-dos, which is usually laundry or errands, and then I stick in pictures and a whole bunch of stickers. I tend to color the backgrounds, make it real shiny. This week we didn't do anything interesting. And yeah, I love how these come out. They are so much fun. I really enjoyed doing them. And then here I was in Munich this week, so I've got a couple of like tickets and things as well. So that is what my weeks end up looking like once I've done with them. Obviously, we are very early days into January, so this gets so kind of fluffy. I love how watercolor paint dries on this paper. It makes it all kind of crinkly and fluffy. So this is gonna fatten up really nicely. And then the last thing I have in this book, I've got a little pocket on the back. I have one of these credit card inserts which has 12 little pockets to keep bits and pieces in. I have some Hobonichi brand sticky pockets, and also these are like little double-sided sticky tape strips, because as you saw, I do quite a lot of pasting things in. And then this is my sticker release paper insert. So as we've seen, I'm a sticker girl. I like to decorate all my pages. I love how the graphic looks under the lights. These are far from all of my stickers, but I find this so satisfying to look at. A lot of these are sticky club stickers, just FYI. But yeah, that is my personal planner in a traveler's notebook. Like I say, these two are things that you have seen before, and now I'm going to move on to the newer things in my collection that you have not seen on this YouTube channel. All right, so here we have my tarot planner and what I am currently calling my like Astro-Grimoire. I will look at this first. So this is my newest baby. This is the Olive Travelers Company notebook. And can you see how marked up the leather is already getting? I've had the camel here for coming up to 1.5 years now, and I use it all the time, and it's got a little bit of like a sheen where the leather's been patinaing, but it hasn't really marked up. It's a really kind of smooth leather, but this is already, it's looking so beaten up, and I love it. This is the olive color, and I think as it wears, it's gonna get more of that kind of greenish shade to it. On its own, it kind of just looks brown. I needed a reason to get this. I've been wanting it for a long time, but I didn't want to just have a spare traveler's notebook just because they're not cheap and it would just be a waste of money and space. So when I set this one up, I realized that I couldn't really realistically fit my tarot stuff in here alongside my personal stuff because it's already pretty chunky. And like I said, once I start filling these pages up, it's just gonna get chunkier. And that was all the convincing I needed. So I bought this. This is my tarot journal, and let us get into it. The first thing is, well, it's actually all of my zines, which I think looks so cute all together. But this is the like zipper pouch insert from Travelers Company. All of these inserts are Travelers Company brand. And so we have the zipper pouch, which has all my mini zines in. The other side is these pockets, and what I have in here is the accordion paper insert, and I'm not 100% on when I'm going to start this. I think I've got that like, oh, I don't want to ruin it mentality going, but I have been playing with doing tarot readings, like long-term tarot readings for astrological transits. And I thought this would be so cool because I could just add to it as the transit goes on. So for like really long-term transits, I just think that would be so cool. And frankly, I just wanted to get this insert and have a play with it. So this is actually just slipped into the insert here because I think I'm going to want to be able to take this one out to work in it, like outside of the notebook. I think it would just be a bit impractical trying to work with it in the notebook. So that one is sort of easy to remove and is tucked in to the zipper pouch insert here. The next thing I have in here is the undated, I think it's called the Free Daily by Travelers Company. I will try and remember to link specifically all of the different inserts in the description if you're interested, but this is basically 2 months, day per page, and it is dated in the sense that you've got the numbers 1 to 31, but it is not any specific month. And what I'm doing with this is because there is 2 months worth, I'm kind of ignoring the page number. I'm ignoring the dates and using them just as page numbers. And what I've got in here with all my like moon stuff is I am I am putting my readings for the full moons and the new moons in this notebook. So I'm using the dates just as page numbers, just as an index, which is like the only thing I really like about the bullet journaling method. And this is kind of best of both worlds. So because it's split into 2 months, I've got kind of 2 books in one. So I did my full moon in Gemini reading, and I've also just done my new moon in Capricorn reading. Well, I've written the notes out. I haven't really done the interpretation. This is the notes from the guidebook for the Every Little Thing You Do with Magic tarot, which is what I used. And obviously I've used my label maker because any excuse, but I'm really excited. This feels like just enough structure with the labeled days that it's not the intimidating blank page, but I can also ignore these if I want to. So if a reading takes multiple pages, that's absolutely fine, and I will just sort of mark that it's taken multiple pages as if this was a normal contents index kind of page. And there's 31 pages, which is what, nearly 3 years of moon cycles if I were to only use 1 page per reading. So this might last me a long time. I might end up using multiple pages for a different reading. I found myself getting quite excited about the prospects of using this particular undated insert as a kind of bullet journal type indexed record. I'm not sure that made sense, but I had to stop myself from buying a couple of these books and setting up loads of different practices because there's no way I'd follow through with all of them at the same time. But I was like, this could be cool for different astrology notes, this could be cool for different kinds of reading, because I just use these as page numbers. And it feels very silly because you could just get a blank notebook, write your own page numbers in, be done with it. But there is something about having this grey little header and not just a naked blank page that makes this feel much more approachable in my brain. I don't get that sort of blank page fear. So that is that insert. I also did treat myself to the 2025 Love and Trip pencil board. Finally, I have the Traveler's Notebook tarot journal that you are probably familiar with if you've been on this channel before. It is my daily draw monthly. I missed a month. Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, this is my daily draw notebook. We're in Capricorn season. I am currently using the Next World Tarot, and this is a practice that is kind of it's not a deep dive, but it's like a shallow dive into a tarot deck, and I primarily use this as a way to get to know the deck and specifically to get to know the guidebook, because what I do is I pull a card a day, I read the guidebook entry, and I jot down whatever was interesting or compelling or different about that guidebook entry. So this isn't really a predictive kind of daily draw. I'm not asking for a message or advice or how my day is going to go or anything like that. It is kind of a utilitarian practice almost. It is just a way to randomize getting to know the deck instead of like reading the guidebook cover to cover. I love this practice. I've taken a bit of a break in the last few months while I was doing Drop 'em 78 with the Thoth Tarot, because that's also a daily practice. So this has been on pause, but we are back. I'm actually almost done. Well, theoretically almost done with Drop 'em 78. I fell behind a bit, so there are some gaps. But anywho, I'm really happy to be back. I love doing this practice. I love the pages and how they all kind of turn out, and then you get to flip through and it's this lovely, colourful monthly practice. I really enjoy it. And this, for reference, is the undated monthly insert from Traveler's Company. It does come with 13 months, but as I just realised, I started on the second one. I skipped over this entirely by accident. So I guess I'm either only doing 12 months or I'm coming back and doing an extra month at the end of next year. I'm also thinking I might this year track the cards that I've pulled, because that is something I didn't do last year. and it wouldn't take me very long. I would just have to copy over the titles, designations, numbers, and then I could make a note of which ones cropped up multiple times, mainly because I think this would be very satisfying if I put it all together. It's sort of a planner. I'm including it as, it's not a planner, but it is a dated journal because I've got that monthly practice and I've got the new moon, full moon practice, which is time dependent. And like I say, that accordion fold out, I want to use that to do some tarot readings around like long-term astrological transits. So this is, yeah, it's not a planner, I'm not planning, but it is a dated journal. Finally, the newest kid on the block. This is a classic size happy planner. And this is, I'm not going to show you most of this, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give you a sneak peek, but this is quite personal. Not to tease you too much, but I think I'm going to be sharing more of this over on Patreon. I share in my live streams. I'm kind of setting this up in some of my live streams if you're in the fledglings tier, so you can see it there. But like I say, this is very personal. I'm not going to be showing you all the ins and outs on here, but I did want to share it with you because I'm really excited about kind of building this out. So this is what I am currently calling my Astro-Grimoire, and it is a very cannibalized I bought a 2024 planner for the rings because it came with metal discs, and I have used a lot of the pages and stuck things over them. So here I just have the calendar, and this is the moon cycle. I really love how this collage came out. I've been wanting to use this piece from a magazine for ages, but anyway, this is my moon phases, and then I have got an astro calendar. I was thinking about doing this in an undated traveler's notebook insert, but then in the end I decided to do it in here. So this is Capricorn season, and what I have done is I've taken the vertical week insert, I've drawn in extra lines to make it a calendar. I don't think my camera is liking this focus very much. I apologize if it's a bit fuzzy. This is 21st of December to the 18th of January. So this is not a monthly calendar, this is a zodiac calendar. It's the same thing I do with my tarot daily draw. So like this is Capricorn season, we're starting on the 21st, we're finishing on the 18th of January. This is in the undated calendar insert. But in here, I took the weekly insert and I made it into a calendar insert. Like I say, I very much cannibalized a dated planner for this. I have also got some blank paper, which is what these covers came from, because how cute is this? I've drawn out months for the whole of the next year up to and including next Capricorn season. So this goes to through the end of 2025. And every month I'm coming in and I am writing in universal transits and my personal transits that I kind of want to pay attention to. I have a couple of different calendar resources, or I've had a couple of different calendar resources that tell you both those things. Honeycomb planners are really good. The Chani app is really good. And recently I've got on board with Transit Cal, which is essentially it's a plugin for your digital calendar, like your Google Calendar, your Apple Calendar, and it puts your transits right in there in your calendar, which is really cool. I just really like having it all there in my calendar. It can be a little overwhelming to have those calendars because there's a lot happening all the time. Like the moon is always doing stuff because it moves so quickly. There's a lot of transits that don't necessarily mean anything to me at this point in my kind of astrology study. So what I have done in these planners is I have just pulled out the bits that I want to focus on. The new moon, the full moon, Mercury's post-retrograde shadow period. Venus is entering a new sign, Mars is entering a new sign, and then because the kind of big things happening this next month are the Mars-Pluto opposition. And that kind of particularly matters to me because Pluto has just changed sign and it is squaring my natal Mercury. That's interesting to me, and so thus the Mars-Pluto opposition is interesting to me. So I've got the exact opposition is here on the 3rd of January. It's changing signs back into Cancer, which is its natal sign in my chart. I've got Mars in Cancer. Mars is conjunct my natal Mars, so like there's a lot of Martian stuff happening. That's the exact square with my natal Mercury from Pluto, but because Pluto moves so slowly, it's a long ass transit. it's kind of right around this opposition. So this is what I'm really interested in astrologically at the moment. I set this up, I put this together on one of my fledgling live streams, and I think that's a thing I'm going to do going forward over there. So again, check it out if you're interested. I'm really excited about using this. They've also got my birth chart in here. I've got Tarot Magpie's birth chart. I've got a space to put notes on transits and things. I've got some reference stuff, like you can see here. It's a cannibalized dated planner, but I've got some info on the houses and the signs and the planets. If I do any sort of witchcrafty stuff, that also is going in here as like a book of shadows type thing, writing up what I'm getting up to and why, because I will forget exactly what I've done and why. So it's literally the whole point of a book of shadows, is that you keep notes on what you're doing so you can refer back to it. So that's all going in here. It's my little Astro-Grimoire. I suppose Astro Book of Shadows makes more sense, but this is the newest addition to my planner lineup. I'm really excited to keep adding to it and to keep deepening my sort of astrology study and understanding. So that is everything, my 4 different planners slash dated journals. I'm really loving all these. None of these are brand new. I've been using this one since September. This is an adaptation. I've also been using this since September. I've had my tarot daily draw practice for over a year now, and this I've been sort of slowly working on for well over a month now, I think. So they've all been a little bit road tested. I'm feeling like I'm in a really good place with my productivity for 2025. I do also have a little stack of kind of journals and notebooks and things, but I'm not going to share those with you today because I think they're not super interesting, and I wouldn't be showing you the insides anyway because it's all too personal. But like, I've got a Tarot Magpie notebook, I've got a regular long form journaling notebook, I've got a little notebook that is my kind of goal setting for this year, which is kind of new on the scene. I've not done this before, but it's a dedicated notebook that is just, here are goals I want to set, here are things that are important to me, you know, all that shit. So that is it from me. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like the sort of planner content. I really enjoy making this. I really enjoy watching this on YouTube. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more of this kind of thing, because I will happily share. Like I say, more of this makes its way over on Patreon just because it is a more personal thing, especially my Astro-Grimoire. So head over there if you're interested. Let me know what you're doing with your planners and setups and all that good stuff for 2025. I've been absolutely devouring everybody's, it feels like everybody on YouTube at this point. I've seen everyone's 2025 traveler's journal setup. I love it. I love it. But I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me. If you've made it this far, I really hope you have enjoyed. There is a link in the description to my Patreon if you want to join us over there. There is also a link to my Etsy store for my readings and my tarot mini-zines, which you did see in my tarot journal. Give me a like if you like this one. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a very happy new year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.